is it? Hello. Hi. I see you there. Welcome. I'm Tiffany, the host of So Sunday. I know, right? I have been saying that for so many years now. It's like embedded in my brain, and I'm trying to think of other ways I could say it, but you know, there's just no other way. I'm the host of So Sunday.
You are that.
Anyways, I'm waiting for this to turn on, and then I could say, who's here? Well, there's a lot of you here, that's for sure. Well, let's scroll back up and see. We got Donna, Joyce, Kim, Betty, Karen, Joanna, Judy, Sherry, Pat, Sherry, Shirley, Diane, Catherine, Betty, another Shirley, Geraldine, Patricia, Helen, and so many more. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So I have been hoarding this woven star thing. It's a woven star quilt block foundation paper by It's So Emma. A lot of you probably have these. I've been hoarding this for a while, thinking of what could I use to make it good. And I don't like to waste charm packs. This says it's perfect for a charm pack. But as I've been working on this, I'm like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of waste on a charm pack. So I also had this giant pile here of my leftover Sculliver scraps. You guys remember that giant quilt that I still have yet to quilt that I did a whole entire series on and I still have yet to quilt it? Yes, that had lots of leftovers. And guess what? They were perfect for this project right here. So I grabbed these little papers and pulled out the extra Sculliver scraps, and also because I have more legit kit scraps and so on and so forth of solids. Here's my giant bin of solids. Yeah, so if I run out of those, I have more in here, lots more, and it's all colors of the rainbow. So I won't pull this out yet, but it's in here because the reason for that. So I've pieced a couple because I know that there's no way in anything I will get this done because this is paper piecing. I have decided from each scrap I will grab one cut, just one piece from each color. So every single one of my stars will be different colors, literally. So they will all be 100% and totally, utterly different. The only thing that's similar is that background black. Why? Because everything pops on black. So, you know. So this is what I'm doing with my Sculliver scraps. Now, I only have one book, and each book has 42 sheets in it. Okay? And I didn't actually count to make sure it was still 42, but, you know, whatever. Anyway, so that allowed me to get like a 6 across by 7 down or 7 across by 8 down. I don't even know, something like that. And it's supposed to make 4.5 inch unfinished blocks or 4-inch finished. But when I was piecing this together my way is different. I realized, here's a 5-inch ruler. Look at that. It's like 5.5 inches. Check that out. Yeah, seriously. So I'm doing it my way so that I could trim these down exactly to 5.5 inches because they're a little slightly wonky on some of the sides. But I'm getting 5.5 inches out of mine, which will make a bigger quilt project, right? It's, you know, 1 extra inch than what it says. And I've managed to figure that out. So I'm going to show you how I do these papers. You can follow the directions, which I'll tell you those too, but I'm going to do my way. You can only do one at a time, or you can do a ton at a time, but I'm doing one at a time to keep myself sane. One block at a time. So I'm going to take the camera and point it down here so that you can see. Actually, Scott's going to do it. He's just going to bring it closer and point it down so that you can see what I am doing here with my piece of paper, because this is paper piecing. You can even zoom it if you need to. All right. So on this lovely paper, it looks like this. Lots of numbers and whatever. It has you cut the dotted line both directions, okay? So there's a dotted line both directions. I'm going to cut that. I'm just going to use a rotary cutter because, well, that's what I have right here, and I don't feel like doing papers, rotary cutter, and all sorts of other stuff with scissors. And, you know, we only need the one thing. So just use the rotary cutter. The papers are thin. I don't think it's going to dull my blade any faster. Oh, no, it's fine. So I'm going to point out some other markings on here. Let me just use the book for this. This is what I'm avoiding. So here are the markings. Is it in the view? Okay. So if you look on here, it has a second line within it. So after you cut it and it has this, there's another, sorry, I shake bad. I can't control it. You guys know this. There is a 1/4 inch seam line. Yeah. So when you sew these pieces on, you're going to trim on the black outer line on all of these and getting rid of all this. I'm not doing that. I'm using this dotted line as my outer line to get the biggest part of the block. And I'm not sewing it on that edge. I'm sewing it on this outer edge, not this edge that tells you to cut off and get smaller blocks. So I'm doing it my way, but you can do it the way the directions say, which is trim around that black line and then sew on the seam line that's built into it. We're not doing that. We're doing it my way. I'm leaving the page just as it is. So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to tell you real quick. Piece 1.
Do you consider tone on tone solids?
Tone on tone? No, I don't consider a solid, but you can use it as a solid. You can use anything as a solid. You can make whatever you want. All right, for piece number 1. I did this my way, of course, because I can. And I'm just going to grab this right here. For piece number 1, I cut 6-inch square. No, 5-inch square, 5.5-inch square. Sorry, let me see. Hold on, I wrote it down. Yeah, a 6-inch square. So for piece number 1 on all of these, it's the same thing. I cut a 6-inch square. Okay, hold on. We got to make this. How did I do this? 2, 3, 4. I think it was like this. No, it wasn't like that. How was it? Maybe it was this way. That's not 6 inches though. I cut it like this. Let me just draw this out because for some reason my brain cannot contemplate the pencil. There it is. I can't contemplate it by putting them back together. So here is my 6-inch square. And I did this with the piece 4 and 5 also. So here's my 6-inch square. You're going to cut it on the diagonal both ways. And then both ways from side to side. Like that. And then you'll get just a bunch of half square triangle pieces. Okay? Because I can't honestly lay that back the way I had it. And then for piece 4 and 5, so 1 is 6-inch, cut a bazillion times, and then 4 and 5 are a 5.5-inch. Cut the same exact way, and then I get these little guys right here. So it'll be cut just like that, but 5.5 inches for the 4 and 5 piece. Then I also went ahead and took the opportunity to measure this and this because I'm cutting from scraps. So I want to make sure that on this funky scrap piece right here that I have enough in a certain section. So I cut it out. So for piece 2, for all the number 2 sections. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the camera was right there. For the number 2 sections, they all have the same piece, same size. It's all the same size, which is a 1.5 by 2.5 inch scrap, or from your charm pack or whatever you use to make this. And then for number 3, 3-inch, the number 3 spot on all these is exactly the same, which is a 1.5 by 3.5 inch piece. So that's how you know the pieces. So you can cut your scraps down into 1.5 inch strips, a bunch of 1.5 inch strips, and you'll have your 1 or your 2 and 3 pieces. Your 1 is a 6-inch square cut on the diagonal and up and down both ways, and then 4 and 5 are from a 5.5 inch piece cut on the diagonal twice and then up and down side to side. So that's how that goes. All right. Next, I need this. We're going to take and fold on all the sew lines. If you've ever seen paper piecing before, all the lines that are on here are folding lines so that we have registration lines when we go to cut everything. We know that specific section's size. All right, so I'm just going to fold all of these papers exactly the same. And I'm just using this cardboardy thing to do so. These lines on the It's So Emma paper are very tiny, so maybe wear your glasses if you wear glasses to see them, because they are kind of hard for me to see. It's kind of blurry. So just thought I'd let you know. I'm folding them all the same though, and I've made a few blocks already, so they're quite easy, honestly. They're just smaller pieces. And I'm keeping them bigger by keeping the page the full size instead of trimming it down even more. So it gives more wiggle room for trimming the block down, honestly. So if I wanted to trim them down to 5-inch blocks, I could. And still have almost a 1/4 inch seam all the way around. I would be a scant 1/4 inch. But it would still be a 1/4 inch. All right. Now that I have all of my papers with their ness, I'm going to turn them all upside down. You see this funkiness? And now I'm going to use my 6-inch triangles and some school glue. And I'm going to put some school glue on the number 1 spot on all of these, on the back side of the paper. Because when you do paper piecing, everything is pieced from the back side. I'm just going to, oops, I put my finger in the glue. I didn't want my finger in it. I'm going to put this piece center on here. And they're pretty much cut almost exactly to size. There will be just a sliver that's going to come off, but we did that on purpose because you still have to cut something down. But I'm trying not to have too much waste. I do not do good with waste. I like to use everything properly. All right, those are on there. I'm going to set them aside. And we're going to just cut. I already started a few for my 2.5 by 1.5 inch pieces, and I got 1. So I need to cut 3 more pieces that are 1.5 by 3.5. So I'm just cutting strips off in some cases if my funky scrap allows me. And then I set it aside because I'm not using any more of that one. And I am drawing random colors from here because I'm trying to have it as, so that's only 3 inches right there. I get 3.5 from this. I can. I don't need that piece. I'm just going to set that aside. And there's that. And one more. Let's do this orange. Is that 3.5? No, it is not. Is it 3.5 this way? It is. And then this is just garbage because I don't need that. All right, so I have all of my parts and pieces cut out. I'm going to start with piece number 1. I am going to go ahead and fold it on my line 2 because number 1 is already on there, which is the big background piece. I'm going to fold it. You can use an add a quarter ruler for this. It butts up to the paper because it has a lip on it. I'm going to fold that over, and then I'm going to grab one of the pieces I have dedicated for spot 2. I'm going to lay it on here and fold it over and see if it's covering everything it needs to cover, and it is. So I'm going to lay this here, leave it there very carefully, and place it over there. I'm going to do it again. Find spots number 2's sewing. Oops, that's not the right one. That's the right one. Cut it. Grab one of these. Place it on here and make sure that it is covering the whole spot that it needs to cover, and it does right there. I'm just going to very carefully place this aside because I'm going to chain piece everything. All right, spot number 2 right there.
When I bind, I always get a line of stitches on the back of the project right below the binding. How do I eliminate that?
When you bind a quilt, you always have stitches on the back side, pretty much 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the binding on the back. That is normal. If you don't want that, then stitch from the back side, you know, fold over the front, put your clips on it, and stitch from the back side in that ditch, and then it'll catch the front. But then you'll have a lip on the front. Don't forget that. All right, grab another one of these, see which way I cut it out, make sure it's going to cover it. And it does. You can use a light if you have a light for this. I do, but I'm not going to grab it out just for these little blocks.
You want me to get it?
Nope, I don't need it for these.
Okay.
These are small. They're all the same, so it's easy to not need. Oops, which side was I on? This side. Go this way with this piece right here. And it's plenty size to cover my area. And then I'm just going to take it over to the machine, turn it. I'm going to hold it right like this, turn it upside down, and stitch on the number 2 line. And then stop, because there's a stopping point right when it turns to number 3. I'm just going to do all these pieces now. I'm going to find the number 2 line. I'm not moving or anything with any of these. I'm just sewing on the line between number 1 and number 2. Keeping that fabric as straight as I can when I flip it over. And one more. Flip it over. Where am I at? Right there. And I am starting from off the edge. So I start from off the edge, which is perfectly fine. What?
What size needle are you using?
My needle is a 90-14. It's what I use for everything. So that's just what's in there. And it works just fine for paper piecing. I do have the stitch length down to 1.6 or so. 1.516, something like that. Making it easier to rip the papers off. Now I'm just from the other side, you know, I'm pressing my pieces with my little iron that's next to me. Makes it easy. All right, so number 2 piece is on all these. They look funky. I know, they look so funky. I'm going to flip it over now and find between number 2 and number 3. So I'm going to fold it on that line. Trim off the excess. And then do that with all of my pieces. Find between number 2 and number 3. The line is already folded, so it makes it easier to just lay it back and chop it off. And there's not really much to cut off on my background because I made them almost the right size. As you can see, it's not, you know, it's barely 1/8 of an inch. One more. And trim it away. Now, I'm going to just choose one of these colors for each of these. Let's put a really dark one on the white one. So I'm going to lay this on here. I know that the number 3 spot comes from the bottom. So the most squarest side I'm going to put down towards the bottom right here. Just going to lay that on there, place it over at the machine. Again, I know that it comes from this bottom section. So I look, make sure, and I want my most squarest point right here down at the bottom. Set that aside. Grab another one. Let's put the brown with the blue. My most squarest point is going to be down on the bottom. These all have a straight edge too because I've already cut my piece from the fabric anyway, so it was a nice straight edge for me to line up. And one more on the bottom right here, just like that. And now to sew them. Just going to very carefully hold it, turn it upside down, find my number 3 line and sew on it. Off the paper. That's what I do with all of them. Very carefully turn it upside down. Find my line. Sew it very carefully upside down. And one more time. Sewing on the line between the number 2 and number 3. Now, press. I'm just pressing away. You can't press any other way but towards the piece you just added. So that, that's totally an anytime you make it kind of thing. So you think about that when you're choosing your fabrics. If you're using a lot of lights and you don't want the next color to be seen, place them in the opposite sides of each other. Okay. Now, spot 4 and spot 5 are pretty much the same thing. So I'm just going to fold on my spot 4 line, cut that off. That can be used for now another piece if I want to. And then I'm going to turn it around and cut spot 5s. Nice and straight because we're just going to chain piece the 4 and 5s on here. They're really easy to do. Fold to my line. And if you don't have an add a quarter ruler, is that big enough for, I don't know, let's see. Oh, I already did 4. Let's do number 5. If you don't have an add a quarter ruler, you can just use a regular ruler. Because there's no need to have an add a quarter ruler. If your ruler has a 1/4 inch mark, you just put that on the fold of the paper. The 1/4 inch mark on the fold. All right. Just do all of these. This is probably like a really easy paper piecing project, I don't need all of that. Get rid of it while I can. Quarter inch seam. So it looks like this right now. It's a mess. But as soon as those sides are added, then you will understand. Any paper piecing project always looks funky at first, But I think these are like the best way to learn how to paper piece is these little It's So Emma things. They have log cabin block ones. They have just half square triangle ones. They have all sorts of different ones. That's probably big enough for something else. Okay, so now I have all these pieces. I'm going to grab 8 of my black from the, hold on, what size were these? 4 and 5 from my 5.5 inch piece. These are my little side ones. They're pretty much exactly the same size. So from I'm gonna turn all these to the fabric facing me side like this. And they literally go on here, right here at the edge. And you know they're the right size. So if you line up the two edges, it's already the right size. Flip it over, sew it through on the 4 line.
Have you watched Becca's video about sewing along the 4-inch seam allowance to save the papers?
Yeah, you can sew along them to save your papers too if you want. Yes, I'm not doing that. I'm just doing what I'm doing. But yes, you could totally fold along the papers and then sew next to the paper instead of on the paper. Oops, I want to see the line just to make them all equal. All right, one more for this. Literally from the back side, again, it just lands on that edge. You know that that's the straight edge. Flip it over and sew on line 4. And since I'm in no mood to go back to the iron just yet, I'm going to sit right here and put piece 5 on by pushing piece 4 out of the way, grabbing piece 5, laying it on here. Again, it's going to go the same way. The corner lines up. And then tip it over, sew on the line. Yeah, if you fold the paper out of the way like this, when you go to sew, you would sew next to the paper so you can save your papers. Oh, I gotta move that out of the way first before I even add this. And I'm 1 short. That's this little pile. Put this on the corner. More than 1 short, obviously. All right. Oh, I was 1 short. Yep, that's right. Okay. Put my corner on there. I know that it's going to be the right size because I measured out. Okay. So on line 5 right here. And now I can go to the iron and then we will trim. Again, I'm not trimming to the line that the squares indicate. I'm actually just leaving it whole. I'm just trimming away the excess that hangs off the bottom side when I piece the blocks together. So you can see it looks funky, but I'm just going to trim off right here and a little bit off of out there on the outer side. Because again, if you just piece it on the triangle like this, then, and not trim it down, then you have a bigger block. And bigger is always better sometimes. You want a bigger block so that you can make a bigger quilt. Shut it. All right. So now I'm just going to take my ruler and go along the edge of the paper only. The actual paper. I'm not going on that black line that it wants me to cut on. Why? Because I don't want to cut that. And I'm going to set them aside over at the machine. And see, look how little waste I have here. Isn't that better? So much waste with paper piecing. That's the only thing I don't like. I said it during Sculliver too, you know? So much waste. So we're trying to lessen the waste. And this side looks like it needs a trimming right here. Ta-da! Okay. So see? 1 block, that's my waste. Much better than, you know, a big, huge amount. All right. With the paper still on here, I'm going to choose my layout like this, I think. Perfect. And then they just go together like 1/4 square triangles. Line them up bring it over here and sew it through. I'm using a scant 1/4 inch. So it's kind of going into the seam allowance of its original seam allowance. And then these two will go in this way. So point and then end. I'm going to snip mine apart just because. And I'm going to press with my finger towards the flatter piece, not towards the piece where there's a little number 2 there. I'm going to press towards the flatter one. So to the left and then to the right. And then I'm just going to right sides together, nest my seam. Everything's nice and lined up. And then I'm just going to sew on the edge of the paper with my scant 1/4 inch instead. And my seam is nested nicely. So you can see I stitched, so there would be the stitch line. If you would have cut it out in black, that would have been the stitch line, that dotted line that's left. But instead, I made mine, so it kind of goes into that, but it works out perfect. And it's a scant 1/4 inch seam, and then I get a bigger block. And then I take it to the iron and press that middle seam open just to reduce bulk. If I can get it to go open. You know, sometimes I can't open a seam. I don't know why, just can't do it. My fingers just don't let me. There we go. Come on, the rest of the way, please. And I'm leaving the papers on until I'm ready to put the quilts together. But they lay pretty flat like this already. And there's my block to go in my pile of blocks. Rinse and repeat. Grab another piece of paper. Like I said, I'm just doing one at a time. Goes over there. Grab my paper thing for folding. Cut on the dotted line, both directions. Okay. Close the blade, fold everything. So I have registration marks. And you'll get in a rhythm of it after a while, just doing them over and over again. I am going to make all 42 pages, if that's what's in this pile, obviously. I don't know if any were taken out because it was gifted to me. So I don't know if it's missing any. Never know. And I thought about buying another package or 2 of them, but then I was like, that would make me piecing forever. So I have a genius idea in mind for these blocks, but you'll have to wait and see. For now, we're just going to learn how to sew them.
Gotta make the blocks first.
Yeah.
Or you can do your genius idea, right?
Yep, got to make the blocks before my genius idea can come into play. And I won't forget it because it'll be awesome. But I'll save it for another video. I'll be like, remember those blocks? This is what we're going to do now. All right, turning them all upside down. Grab 4 of these, which are my 6-inch. Put some glue on every single one of these to hold everything in place. It's school glue, so it just washes out. This one's the purple one. I don't recommend using it under white, though, because I did that before, and the actual glue did not come off the white fabric. The, you know, the color purple of it. But they do make clear, not just the purple one. All right, now set aside. They're all ready to begin, and we're going to pull some more colors. And I'm just going to make the disaster.
Pretty colors to
1,
pull from.
2. I'm going to pull 8 colors. 3, 4. Yep. 5. Yeah. Oh, that went with that. No, it didn't. Does it? Yes, it does. 6. Fat Quarter Shop sells them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. Let's do yellow. 8. And look, all of my paper, all of my fabric still has the name of the colors on it. All right, I know that it's the 8 pieces here. So, oops, we need this ruler. I'm just going to go ahead and cut off 1.5-inch pieces off of all these. And then this one's going to be by, we'll do this one by 3.5. So this square can be used for another one when I go to do it again, because I'll be recycling if I have to. 1.5 by 2.5, or 3.5 right here, whatever. That will be 3.5-inch. That means I did that color. It feels nicely into that pile that I can't flatten. There we go. Let's make this one a small one. 1.5 by 2.5. Make this one a small one. 1.5 by 2.5 pile. Make this one a small one. Make this one a big one. So we're going to cut off 3.5. This can go with that over there. How many do I have? I need a 4th one for that pile. So this can go in that pile. And then can I get 1.5, 3.5 right here? I can. Garbage. Take 3.5 off of here. And throw that like that. Over there. Ta-da! Everything's cut out. So now, just grab one and start all over again. So I'm going to fold it on line 2. Grab my ruler, cut my 1/4 inch. Grab a number 2. Place it on there.
Can they use a jelly roll for the color part?
You can use a jelly roll, yeah. You can use whatever you want. Although, in my opinion, so far with scraps, this is looking great. But it says you can use charm pack on there. Fantastic for charm packs, but I don't like waste, so that's why I am doing what I'm doing. All right, put this on here. Set it aside. Place this on here. Set it aside. And one more. The cool part about solids is you don't have to worry about right side up or wrong side up, because there's only a few solids I've ever gotten over the years that you can tell the difference. All right, so I'm going to sew on my between 1 and 2. And like I'm going like a stitch or two into the number 3 side, but I just pull those when I go to turn it. All right. So now I'm going to press. Where's my scissors? Don't need that. All right, so now we're on to number 3. So I'm gonna find my number 3 spot, cut, find a piece to go with it, lay it on there, place it aside. Number 3. Ooh, come on. Go where I want you to go. Stay where I want you to stay. All right, number 3 on this one. Let's put this blue with this one. Place it aside. And one more. And put my square corner right there. Now, to sew them all on by sewing on the number 3 line. So between the 2 and the 3 and the 4. One more. Alrighty. Now all that's left is the 4 and the 5, which are the same color. But you could even mix those colors up too. The backgrounds, they don't have to be all the same. I'm just doing black as mine because black goes good with solids like this. That's a great background for the rainbow. Because it doesn't take the place of any rainbowed color. And they all stand out better than white. Okay. So now the spot between 4 and 3 and 5 and 2. Trim off that excess on both sides, set it over there because it'll be ready to be sewn since all of my pieces are pre-cut. That's why I told you the sizes of the background pieces, because it's a lot easier to have them all pre-cut in advance. Although I'm going to have to cut more soon, but I was just guesstimating on how many I may or may not need when I cut them out. When the ruler is facing this way. Notice I've switched from using the add a quarter ruler back to the long ruler. I don't know. I think I find it easier than the add a quarter ruler. Although I have them. I have both sizes, the big one and the small one. No. That's good right there.
I was thinking over your shoulder. It might get closer to you.
Nah, that's fine. All right, now to sew these on. So I'm just going to grab a stack of them. Whoop, what did I do wrong? Oh, I didn't fold the paper out. Duh. Put one side on, flip it over, sew it on. Put the side on, flip it over. I'm doing spot number 4. Oh, that one got wrinkled. How did it do that? I don't know, because I wasn't holding it good enough.
What size is your ruler and where did you get it?
This ruler is a Missouri Star Quilt Company 2.5 inches by 8 inches ruler. They also have a 2.5 by 10. They also have a 10-inch square. They also have all sorts of different rulers. No, Missouri Star, which is not. They're just my go-to. The 2.5 by 8 and the 5 by 15 are my go-to rulers because they're always on my desk. No sense in putting another one on my desk, you know, when I already got 2. Everything else is for other things. Okay, so I'm going to put spot 5 on. Just finger pressing the number 4 out of the way. Two more. And honestly, I could say with these little pieces like this, because they're so small, I don't think bias edge, because this is a bias edge on this side right here, I don't think they really count as much because that's going to be sewn into the block. If this outer edge right here should be straighter grain, the way I cut everything out, you know. So everything that lands on the outer side should be straight, nice and straight, and then everything that lands where you're going to sew is bias. And then obviously my colors, I can't control whether they're biased or not. I'm just cutting a piece of fabric off from my scraps. That really is not necessarily needing to be straight. Most paper piecing projects, you don't really have straighter grain. Everything's kind of always wonky somehow, some way. Press one more, and we'll trim them and sew them together. And we'll have had 2 blocks made during the live. It's going faster than I thought. But that's because I'm so used to sewing these now. My first like 2 pieces are always a struggle because I'm really not a paper piecer. I do find it convenient though for stuff like this. I mean, it totally makes sense for stars like this. I mean, you can piece these regular too, but I think you'll have more seams if you piece them regular as opposed to paper piecing. All right, and there's my waist. I know that's a lot of waist for me, but I can't get 1-inch squares out of that, and I'm not a crumb piecer. Take them over to the machine, lay them out in a pleasing orientation. Like that. That works. Put them right sides together, and so the tip of the triangle in first, and then this one will be the flat of the triangle then. And I'm using, again, a scant 1/4-inch seam, which means I'm not using a seam guide. That's what I call a scant 1/4-inch seam. Is Tiffany sewing without a seam guide, because I can't do a 1/4-inch seam without it. It's always too wonky. All right, I'm going to press towards my 3-piece because that's not a double seam right there. It is up here, but right there isn't. So it's less bulk. You can press everything open at this point too. I don't do that. It's easier for me to nest when they're one going one way and one going another way. I find that it's easier to nest, I should say. Personal preference, I guess. All right, next block done. Let me press it real quick. And Scott will probably end up with the job of taking the papers off of them for me when I'm ready to sew everything together. You can give that job to a grandchild if you have one, or even a child if that's what's still living at home with you. And be like, here, rip the papers for me while I sew these. All right, another block down. Isn't that so adorable? I mean, seriously, this is a 5-inch square. That's 5.5 inches. Look at that. So it's much bigger than its proposed face of the block. What it says. All right, next piece of paper. Oh, and there's also a chart in here, by the way. There's how to do it. And then there's a chart on how many you would need for a certain size. So a wall hanging for a 24.5-inch square is 36 blocks. If you want to make a crib, 36.5-inch square is 81 blocks, or 9 by 9. A lap quilt, which would be 48 by 60, I think that number is, and all my glasses on, which is 80 blocks, 12 across by 16 down. And then table runner is a 12-inch by 48-inch, which is 36 blocks, and that's 3 across by 12 down. So, I mean, it has a little guide in here for you as well. Oh, I probably should cut more black, though, while I'm here. For my background. So you can see how I'm cutting it right now in front of you, because I need to cut more. Move those out of the way, though. They're going to be in my way. Don't let that fall. Okay. I need a ruler. I'm not really cutting these exact because, you know, I'm not an exactor cutter when I do stuff like this. Move that out of the way.
Will you square them up before you sew them together?
Will I square them before I sew them together? Yes, that I will do. Oh, throwing things. way. Stack them all up. Like this. I'm going to cut them all at the same exact time. So I'm going to cut them diagonally. Both directions. I better stand for this because that's a different angle.
You want me to do it?
And then up and down. And side to side. Like that. And turn it this way and cut it. Right there. And there's all of my triangles. I get a bunch at a time. No waste, which is good because we don't want waste. And they're all the right size they need to be. The camera can go up now so people can see me, talk to me.
Yeah.
I feel like when it faces down,
Yeah.
they don't see facial expressions and stuff when I'm talking, and it's like, You know, I just feel weird. I'm used to the camera being on me. Because I'm the center of attention. I'm just kidding.
Bad. No, they like to see you as you're working.
Yeah, it's better to see facial expressions and stuff on somebody when they're working. That's why I kind of don't like watching videos where it just shows only a face down camera. I like that I can move mine around. Even though it's not good settling for the eyes, but still, it works. My little card thing. And then once we get all these out, we'll get our colors situated. Out of the way. Oh, and you could also, on the woven star, you can make the small piece the same as the opposite sides color. So one of your number 2s is the same as number 3 all the way around. But I like the fact that they're mixed up. So if you look on my colored piece here, this one would be the same as this one across from it. This one would be the same as this one the same as that one, and this one the same as that one. So that it does look like it's weaving under, but I kind of like it this way better. Because this way almost looks like a star in a star. A ninja star. Oh, I caught that too.
I saw. Look at you.
That was funny. I wasn't even looking. That was funny.
Getting all high tech.
Oops. Trying to find all the what am I doing here? Line it up right there.
You threw yourself off for catching the ninja star. Now you're just lost.
If I'm lost. Ooh, come on. I should grab it so I can show you guys why I like the ninja star blocks. Hold on. I will show you why. Just give me 2 seconds. Hold on. Let me grab it. It's old. But it's because I have a ninja star. So if I wanted, I can throw this into the wall because there's nowhere else to throw it.
At your husband.
But see, it's a ninja star.
Be throwing it at your husband.
So I always call these kind of blocks ninja stars because of that. I have knives. Yes, I know. Something I used to collect. I don't anymore, but I used to. So that's why I always call these kind of blocks ninja stars. Because that's what it looks like. An actual ninja star. Yeah, some people don't know what a ninja star looks like or haven't seen one in many years, and they're like, oh, hey, that's perfect. Funny thing is I only have one. I used to have a bunch. I think the kids lost them all. They used to have like 6 or 7 of them.
Probably sold a few of yours.
Some probably got sold, yeah.
The one that you have should be sold at the next yard sale this weekend. But it won't be.
Oh, don't forget other things to talk about. That
Yard sale this weekend.
we're having a yard sale this weekend. But obviously you're not coming to that. But if you are coming to Havasu on the 5th, 6th, and 7th of February, there is a quilt show in town. I did post the details and the address to where the quilt show is on my post page. And trying to think words. And yeah, so if you want to meet me and you're in the tri-state area, which is like Southern California and Nevada, Southern Nevada, and heck, even New Mexico. If you want to come in from New Mexico, I mean, you know. But yeah, if you're in any of the areas, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and let's put this pinky purple color, 8. Just throw my stack over there. All right, this is definitely going to be a small one. Where, there it is. This will go for my 1.5 by 2.5 inch pile. Place that over there. We'll put this one in. Ooh, how's that look against the black? Some of these might not look good against the black. What do you think? Can you still see it?
It's a little dark.
It is dark, but
I can see it.
the goal is to. Which one did I do another dark one on?
On the camera, you can see it actually better.
I have a maroon one right here next to black, and I can still see it. So yeah, I'm just going to use it.
It shows up better on the camera than it does in person, honestly.
Okay. I didn't even think about all that to start. Let's make this one a bigger one.
I say go for it.
3.5 by 1.5. Ugh. That's the bigger pile. Let's make this one the bigger pile. We only need 3.5 of it. I love that color, so pretty. We'll make this one a small one. 1.5 by 2.5. We'll make this one a big one. Ooh. Let's see. Can I just pull it off of this? Cut that straight across. Cut off 3.5 of that. Like I said, the other pieces are going to get used as well. All the rest of the scraps. Make this one of the 2.5 inch. That's garbage. Oh my goodness, come on. There we go. Let's make this one. How many? I need one more for that pile, for the 3.5 pile, and one more for the 2.5 pile. I don't know why I'm trying to keep all this flat. I'm tearing it all up anyway. 2.5 by 1.5 right there. There we go. Okay, here we go. Let's glue 4 of these on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Start with the numero 2 pile. Where's that line for number 2? Fold, cut, place the straight edge on there, set it aside, fold, cut, place it on the side. And when I fold that over, it's going to be whatever. Yeah. Oh my goodness, paper. Just stay where I put you. I don't even need to cut that. That's already nice and straight for me. Oh, that's not the straight edge though. Yeah, we'll put it this way. Right there. There, and one more. Number 2 line. Place this on there. Woohoo! Now sew. Nope, 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 nope. Turn it this way. There you go.
Tell me about your chair.
Huh?
Where did you get it? Do you like it?
What about what?
Your chair you're sitting on.
My chair, I hate it. Got it at Walmart. I hate it. We have not been able to find me a chair that I actually like, unfortunately. And then we recently got one, but I had short people syndrome. The lowest the chair went, I couldn't even touch the ground. I had flingy feet. So we had to return it. And haven't got a chair. I can't buy them online. I actually have to go in person and sit on a bazillion chairs for like 2 or 3 hours, you know, wiggle around, move. But who has the time to sit in a store on chairs for 2 or 3 hours?
Yeah, this was the only chair set up in Walmart.
Huh?
This was the only chair set up in Walmart.
Yeah, this was the only chair set up in Walmart. So Scott hoisted me up onto the display thing, because you know how they're kind of set high. They got a lower part and a higher part. He put me up on the display thing, and then I sat in the 3 chairs they had up there, spun around, wiggled my butt, and this one was okay at first, but my tailbone was getting worse, so it didn't last for very long, and I have this little comfy seat thing on it, and guess what? It does not feel good either anymore. I don't like to sit. I'm not a sitting person. I like to be up and moving around. You know, but I can't walk long, so unfortunately I do have to sit more than I'd like. So yeah, this chair sucks. It's a no-name Walmart thing, in case you're curious. I need this right here. Place that over there. I've been looking at other chairs online, but the thing is, why spend the money on it if I'm not going to like it, or if my butt's not going to like it, because my butt and back are the problem, not the chair. It's hard to keep this tushy comfortable. You should see me at church or when we go places. I literally, the chairs at all these places we go, I'm like, Scott's like, stop, come. I'm like, and I wiggle and I move and I cross my legs, uncross my legs. I do all. I'm like a little kid. Like, seriously, it's horrible. It's a good thing in here I do move around a lot. So it's okay. But yeah, I look funky every time I go somewhere where we have to sit in chairs for long periods of time. They're just not comfortable for me. Set that aside. And I don't think I would do good. Like, have you guys seen those commercials for the like living room recliner on steroids kind of thing for your office chairs? Like, they have motorized this and comfort levels this, and they have a foot pop out and all that. I keep seeing all those commercials, but I'm like, I'm gonna hate it. I gotta sit in it. I've never seen them anywhere else, but yeah. All right, I'm just going to bring these over here and just start sewing, because why not? Let's put this dark brown one next to a pretty purple. Maybe that will keep it looking normal. So on line number 3 now. Let's put this green next to this yellow. That'll look good. Let's put this teal. I'm going to cut off this excess though. Right there. Place that over there in my not so scrap pile. Because I can. Where am I at? I'm on this right here. Oop, we need a nice square side. All right, now all that's left is adding the black. These go pretty quick. I have to, say that out loud because I thought they were going to take me forever because I'm not much of a paper piecer. And when I do, I try to find ways to make it faster. So the way I'm doing it, I think is pretty quick. Instead of one section at a time, getting them all 4 done at the same time. Okay. Get these. Have any of you done these before? These little It's So Emma papers? Other than me just showing you right now? That's what the brand name is. They have woven stars and half square triangle things and other stars. And they have a whole bunch of different ones. These little booklets, I probably could get on the train of doing more, different ones. Obviously, I'd have to buy them, and, me, I'm kind of lazy about buying stuff. If I decide I need this to be bigger, I'll probably have to buy more. But at this point, I kind of have an idea, so can't tell you yet because I'm not going to do it yet. We'll get to it eventually. Okay, that paper got stuck in the seam funky. Funky stuck.
Where do you buy the booklet?
You can buy the booklet online. Fat Quarter Shop definitely has them. I'm pretty sure other places have them as well. You can try my links. But I know for a fact Fat Quarter Shop has them because I was just on there looking to make sure I could tell you that Fat Quarter Shop had them.
We should have made a link for it.
Yeah, I should have made a link for it. I totally spaced that. All right, I need a stack of these. And here we go. Let's sew these on now. Oops. Maybe. They do have books, notions, and so on and so forth. And remember, if you guys buy from clicking on the links that we put in the chat, you buy while you're shopping on those links. It helps my channel out a wee bit. Huh? And it doesn't cost you anything to use the links. So I highly suggest using them to help me out. Okay, let's do the opposite sides. I like having the pieces already to the size they need to be. Or thereabouts, because it's not exact, obviously. Got to have a little bit of wiggle room because it is paper piecing and stuff is going to shift, stuff is going to move. It's not always going to be exactly the same. And it's better to trim down than not have enough to trim. All right. Snippity snip, snippity snip, snippity snip. Pressity press, pressity press. Anybody watch any good movies lately? Scott and I have been watching all of the Indiana Jones movies. We are doing a marathon. We're on the last one, but you know, because we're doing a marathon. He's also on the side doing the Tron movies. I really didn't care for the Tron movies. Futuristic, live in a video game. I mean, I don't know. Something about that just doesn't scream, "Hey, Tiffany, watch me." I've seen them. 2 of them, not the newest one that just came out. Right. Remember, I am trimming mine to the size of the actual paper itself, not to the line it tells you to trim on, because I am making sure I get the most out of my blocks, size-wise. If you just leave well enough alone, and don't trim it to that, then you'll get a bigger block. All right. Is that 4? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. 1 was hiding. All right. If I put that next to a blue, you can see it. Oh, we don't want the green next to the... There we go. That's a better order. Remember, they're all different colors, so it doesn't really matter, but it does at the same time.
Have you tried memory foam gel cushion?
Memory foam gel cushion is what I'm sitting on. Yep, that's my little tailbone cushion thingy that I'm sitting on. Is memory foam and gel. I have them in all the chairs in the house because of my whole tailbone issue. Which I gotta go get injections again, especially before I go to North Carolina, because I'm gonna be doing a lot of sitting when I get there.
Well, you need to say something.
Huh? Yeah,
you need to say something that's not far off if you need to make an appointment.
Yep. I told you I needed to call Dr. Deep.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
We would have called this week.
Oh, well, I told you yesterday.
Oh, well, yesterday I can't do it.
We can't do any phone calls.
You have to tell me tomorrow. I couldn't have called his office yesterday. No one's there.
Oh yeah, you can see the green and the brown. Brown kind of is a little lost, but not too much. with all the rest of everything, you can tell it's a star. Oops, got a little thread going on right there. So you can tell it's a star. You can see the brown. Or coffee. That was the name of the color. All right. Let's do another one. Trying to cut as best as I can in between the dotted center lines, the cut on, because I'm trying to get the most out of these lovely things.
There you go. One lady got an arrow adjustable height chair.
Yeah, I don't like the arrow chairs at all. That is one chair that I 100% don't like. I have sat on them at every quilt shop I have ever been to. I have sat on them at quilt shows where they're set up for you to do little sew and take kind of projects and stuff. And that is the one chair that's my opinion. I don't like it. My butt don't like it. How about that? That's my butt's opinion.
What's your tailbone?
That's my tailbone's
You have a
opinion.
bad tailbone.
Yeah. I like that. They're cute though. Definitely cute chairs. I love that you can get them in sewing theme fabric, but you can turn any chair into a sewing theme fabric chair. I could take this one apart and put a whole new everything on it. Reupholster it. Just don't want to because, you know, it's more work that I don't want to do. Yeah, I've seen tons of people find vintage chairs and upholster those, and they use them in their sewing rooms. Although you have to put new foam in vintage chairs because those definitely would be ruined. All right, now to choose 8 colors. Pull my hair back because I feel like it's rubbing on the microphone, which it probably is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need a dark blue. 7. And we need a purple. 8. All right, just set these that way more. I don't have much of these fabrics, so we're going to just cut right there and cut a straight line on this side. Although it looked straight already, but we'll just make sure for a fact it's straight. That's my small pile. Yeah, there wasn't much left on some of these fabrics. This will be my, not quite 3.5, so this will be one of the smaller ones as well.
How about an old-fashioned padded desk chair?
Old-fashioned padded desk chair.
How about a koala sewing chair?
Koala ones. I haven't sat in the koala. No, maybe I have when I was at So Yeah, because they had them there. I think that's the ones they had. This will be by 3.5 inches. This will also be a pile. This one. This will be a bigger pile because that's a bigger piece. This will be a smaller. And this will be the last of the bigger. That's not 3.5 right there. But we can get it right here because nobody said it had to be on the straight grain. Was that 1.5? Ooh, that's cutting it short, but we're gonna make it work. All right, let's glue the black on. 4, 3, 4, and glue.
What kind of chair does Becky use? You probably sat on her chair while you were sewing.
I sat on her one chair, but she has a new chair since the last time I was at her house.
Well, then you'll try.
She has a ergonomic-y type chair. Her other one was probably ergonomic-y too, but
was it comfy?
No.
Okay, well, try this one this year.
Yeah, whatever she has in there this year, I'll try that one when I'm there. Oh, I might as well just cut all these because I'm just going to take them and sew them. Oops, don't do that. Whew, I almost cut that.
Have you ever sat in a bungee chair? I've never even heard of that.
I never heard of a bungee chair, no. I only have one quilt shop, and guess what they don't sell at my local quilt shop? I've been to, what is the word for it? Staples, and sat in all the chairs at Staples. Most of them are just gaming chairs, so they're really not much more padding than the Walmart ones. I've sat in all the ones that Walmart sells in store, not the ones online. They have a bunch more online as opposed to what they have in store.
In store is the one you're sitting on now.
Right? Every single time we go to the thrift store or any thrift store, I sit in all the chairs that are available. Everywhere we go, I sit in chairs to find the perfect chair. And guess what? Still haven't found the perfect chair. All right, get all this pieced up. Just a picky butt. That's me, the picky butt. Tiffany the picky butt. Because my butt is what's picky. Not my fault. I think after this block, I'm going to stop though because I'm getting tired. More tired than I normally am at this point in the video. Did everybody get a chance to watch my long arm quilting video yesterday?
I
showed how to make how to do like a Baptist fan type stitch out, free motion, of course, because that's all I do. And all the things I do in my long arm videos can be done on a sit down machine. In case you're curious, because you don't have a long arm. But you don't need one to do most of the stuff I do edge to edge. It came out cute because I did it on that little Christmas quilt with the Christmas morning fabric by Lella Boutique. That little quilt we made a couple, it was like the second week in December. It was one of the Christmas videos, Christmas themed fabric that we did in December. Could have been in November, but I'm pretty sure it was in December.
Have you heard of Martelli's chairs?
Martelli's chairs I've heard of, but I don't know where I would sit in one. We, like I said, only have the one quilt store here. I would have to sit, every time I go to QuiltCon, I sit in all the chairs, like I said. Maybe there'll be more options at this next QuiltCon. I don't know, because there's always different vendors. Some are the same, some are not. There will be vendors at my local quilt show that's happening the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Problem is none of them are really big shops, so they won't have chairs, I don't think. I never know, obviously, but they don't have stuff like that usually. It's shops from around everywhere, though. Let's put these bigger ones on now. Okay, this is the one that I have to be careful with because this one may or may not be the size that I need. But I will make it work. Oh, look at that. Perfect.
You ever heard of a draftman?
Draftman? Like an artist chair?
I don't know.
No.
What kind of chair?
Huh?
It's a kind of chair, but I don't know what kind of chair. I just said they use a draft. They have picky butt syndrome also.
Yep. That's my new thing, picky butt syndrome. People can have that for all sorts of things in life. Not just the butt, chair-wise. But you can have picky butt syndrome because you don't want to eat your lasagna. Like, ew, that's so gross. Or because you don't want whatever, you know? I have that picky butt syndrome with lots of foods, like mushrooms. Like, seriously, disgusting. Ugh. But people love them.
I like them.
Scott likes them. I like seafood. Ugh. But
I like that too.
I can barely handle the smell of tuna, but I'll eat tuna. And I'll eat cod. But I don't like any of the other stuff like crab and what is that stuff? What is the one with the little thing and you drop it in your mouth? Oysters. Ugh. Who would do that? Ew. I've had escargot when I was a child. Guess what? Didn't like it. So I got picky butt syndrome with food. I got picky butt syndrome.
Fancy enough to have escargot.
Oh, I even had what is the fishies that come in the can?
Sardines?
Sardines. They had sardines and crackers a lot when I was a kid. And the only reason why I liked it is because it was salty. Because I am a salt fan.
I had those when I was overseas in the military. When you don't have no food, them sardines are good.
Yeah.
After days of not much to eat.
Let's see. What else am I a picky butt in? I am a picky butt for mattresses. Whoo-wee. I have had the mattress that I have. We got it like I don't know how many years ago. And I absolutely despise it. I liked it for the first year. And now I hate it.
Okay, but tell them our mattress story.
But we have a mattress story.
We needed a new mattress.
Yeah, we needed a new one. So we went everywhere, laid on every single bed in this whole entire town's every mattress shop that sells one. Finally find one. And
okay. You picked out the most uncomfortable mattress known to man. Your husband hated it then and hates it to this day. And despises it even for sitting on it for short periods of time.
So
but you bought it, and he let
we
you.
Bought
and
it.
It was extremely expensive.
Yeah, extremely expensive. It was an expensive bed.
You loved it for 1 year.
1 year later, I hated it. Can't stand it. Don't want it. So we bought another one, right?
Okay, but you found a cheap one.
We found a
your
cheap
husband
one.
Would not cave.
Problem is, I couldn't keep that cheap one. We had to get rid of it. You know why? Because it doesn't fit on the new bed frame that we bought me when I got my hip fixed.
To finish the story, after 1 year, you hated
after
the new
1 year, I hated the new bed too.
And then I got you a new bed frame, so we went back to the old one that I refused to get rid of because we spent so much money on it.
Yep, so now I'm back to my old mattress that I hate. But it's hard to find one that goes on those adjustable bed frames, you know, for an actual low price. Because most of the lower price beds are not for adjustable bed frames, which kind of sucks. So I'm a picky butt with mattresses too. I like them for a little while, and then I absolutely can't stand them.
But
I don't know
You
why.
haven't found one since that you've liked.
Yeah, we
Every
haven't
mattress
found
you've
one
laid on,
since.
you
I've
haven't
laid
found.
on, we go places and I still lay on mattresses at mattress stores. I'm like, hey, let's stop in right here real quick and let's test out and see if they got anything new. Nothing that I like. I like an extremely soft, sleeping on a cloud soft bed.
Yeah, but the one you picked out was the hardest one in the store that I despised from day one.
He says it's the hardest in the store, but it wasn't. If you look on the mattress thing, it's actually one of those soft things. It's memory foam gel blended blah hybrid.
Three in that line, you bought the medium. There was a soft, medium, and hard. You bought the medium.
Oh, I thought it said soft.
No, to be honest, you bought the medium one. I like the soft one. You bought the medium. Neither one of us like.
Either way, my picky butt will get a new mattress someday, and it'll be soft. It's probably not good for my back, but guess what? I don't care.
You need a water bed.
I need a water bed, yeah. Problem is nobody, not even a cat, can sleep in a water bed with me because I wake up at the slightest movement. I probably wouldn't even be able to sleep with myself. As soon as I roll over, I'd be like, hello? Hey, what? Who's there? Let's see, what else? I'm a picky butt when it comes to the quilting room. I don't like to waste fabric. That makes me picky. It does. I don't want to throw it away. Let's see, where else am I picky? I'm picky about my machine in here. I love my TL2010Q. I don't like to use other ones because they're slow. So that makes me picky. Right? It does, huh? Because I have to have this machine. Not that machine. Not the other machine. Not any of those machines.
Have you tried the Select Comfort bed? The air bed?
Select Comfort? Was that the one your mom had? No, that's the one that she just got. Scott's mom got one just recently. They got a new one. And it's both sides can be adjusted. It's like an air mattress. I told her whenever I get a chance to go to the house, I'm going to go lay on it because I've never laid on one of those. You know, where you can adjust, one person can have one comfort and one person can have another. Yep, they just got it. I'll have to lay on it. And at mom's house, I can lay on it longer. For the longest time.
Number
oh, yeah.
The same thing,
I guess so. For the longest time, I was dead set on getting a purple mattress, only because I was watching, it shows. The problem with mattresses, you ready for this one? I don't weigh enough. I mean, I do, but I don't. I don't weigh enough to put the indent. Like when you see someone comfortable and it's all shape forming on the commercial to their body. It doesn't do that on my body. It's literally like flat. I don't make those curves into a bed to conform my hips, so my back and everything is like this funkiness position when I'm laying on my side. So I need a bed that can adjust to my curves, and that's why I need the super softest, because then it fills the curves. Not like I have many curves to my body, but either way, what I do have needs to be comforted. And that's my problem, is finding a bed that does that. So I was wanting a purple mattress for a long, long time, but then Scott was like, why buy something online that you can't feel in person? Because at the time when purple came out, they didn't sell them in stores. You couldn't land them. So you get that 90-day money-back guarantee and you can return it. Like, it's kind of dumb. It's smart, obviously, but it's also you'd have to wait for the return.
We all knew you would hate it.
But everybody knows I would hate it, so why spend $1,000 on a bed if I'm going to hate it instantly? I mean, because I can't lay on it to tell you how I feel. For the longest time, too, when I started YouTube, I thought, I could just start a new YouTube channel and be a tester of products so that I can get all the free mattresses and try them all out. But guess what? That never happened. I should do that with chairs, huh? I should be a chair tester. Ooh, that sounds like a plan. I'm going to have to find out how to do that. I know I'm weird, right? Just finding ways to find a way, because I live in a small town that doesn't have much in the case of shopping. I think we have like 5 furniture stores altogether. That includes, well, we don't have Big Lots anymore, huh? It closed. That's right. So no, we only have like 4 furniture places.
We have the one next to Dollar General, whatever there.
Yep, next to Dollar General.
And the one on McCullough across from the college. And other than that,
and the one where we bought the last mattress, that mattress place.
Is it still open?
Yep, still open.
Mesquite?
Box drop, yep. Other than that?
Oh no, I'm talking the one on Mesquite where we bought our original mattress.
The one where we bought the original, the Serta Sleep Center?
That was on Mesquite. The one where we bought the last mattress was on
Lake Havasu Avenue. That's right. Yep. We still don't have very many choices. We're trying to think, because... And then there's Goodwill and stuff, but I really don't want a used bed. I wouldn't mind a used chair, but I definitely don't want a used mattress from a thrift store. I see them there, though, all the time. Some of them are even new in the wrapper, but who knows where it's been. I don't. All right. There we go. Sew all this together. Find a beautiful layout for it. Let's put the orange next to the green and that one next. Nope. Let's put that one next to that one. Perfect. Oh, I can't see blue. It's hidden. Now I have the hiccups again. What is it with these hiccups?
I'll say you need an old feather mattress, that they were the softest.
I gotta tell you, I have one of those stories. A long time ago, I was young and had a little place for me and the kids, and I had a futon mattress. And it was like some cotton fluffy stuff and feathers. Like when you take it out, because it has its own like wrapper and you can wash the outside or whatever. You undo the zipper all the way around and you plop the mattress thing. And then it had a bag of feathers, like a cotton covered thing filled with feathers. That was comfortable. But guess what? They don't last very long. They get all bunched up from going up and down all the time, especially with the kids. That it kind of puts lumps and bumps in it. But I did have a futon mattress for a while that had, as a couch that had the feathers, and it was amazing. But I had 4 kids, and 4 kids ruined it. It wouldn't have lasted to this day, though, because that was over, 20-something years ago. And I've had those feather topper things that you put on the mattress. Scott's actually bought me a few of those mattress toppers, and none of them, they don't work on top of a regular mattress. The feather ones or the plush ones that you can buy or the foam. And then I thought about, what if I this would never be able to be washed because it'd be so big, but a mattress topper out of a puff quilt. Make a puff quilt, super stuff the darn things with I would say 6-inch squares or something to the size of a queen size bed. Problem is it would never be able to be thrown into the wash because it'd be so huge and heavy, so it would have to always be on the underside. So I could make it out of old sheets or something. I've thought about doing that before, but it would be even heavy just to, because those little ones, even making the baby and twin size ones I've made, imagine making a queen or a king size puff quilt. Oof, that's going to be heavy and hard to, rustle around. Good thing we work out in our quilt rooms, huh? But yeah, I've thought about it to try to make that. I could even buy feathers to stuff it with fluff and feather. Then I would be on a cloud. But I don't know how it would do, because remember, I sleep with my mattress going up and down Like some days I want it up, some days I want to sleep with it down. Some days I sleep with it halfway in the middle of between. Like I adjust it so much I think it would ruin the thing because it'd be moving up and down so much it would create funkiness. All right. I'm going to call it with this one. This is my last one of the day. The blue right here is kind of hard to see even for me. I don't know how it is on camera, but it looks good. So in total, even though I did only a few on camera, I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm not even halfway there. When I get to 20, I'll be halfway there.
40?
Well, 21. When I get to 21, I'll be halfway there because there was 42 sheets in here. Well, that's okay. I'll be done now, and then it'll give me a chance to cut out some more black. Because I need 4 of the bigger ones per block, and I need 8 of the smaller ones per block. I don't want to have to do the math on that, especially in my head at the moment, but, you know, just means I need a lot. And I'm getting low on these colors, so I am going to have to break into my bin if I want one of every single color. If I want one piece from every single color, I'm going to have to break into the bin. Because this is like 5 more blocks worth, maybe?
How about all these?
I already used those. That's the used pile. Yeah.
Why don't we use them again? What's the matter?
I mean, it doesn't matter. I could use them again and put them in different combination orders.
Yes.
Oh, this is going to be so cute. Look at this. Oh, I'm going to love it. Hey, I have enough for a little wall hanging right now.
That is cool.
Ta-da!
Very cute.
I'd put it on the wall, but I can't. It's on paper. The papers won't stick to the wall.
Okay, tell them about your week here.
Week. What's my week? What am I doing this week? Oh, I have not gotten my Open Gate quilt box yet. I know it's the 11th, but January, I think December and January are the 2 slowest months to get it out because January is still slow on Christmas mail that hasn't finished getting to its destination. That's the only reason why I think it's slow in January. So I haven't got that. I will get to it when I get to it.
Well, when you get it.
When I get it.
You have to get it in the mail.
Yeah. And then I got to bind a bunch of stuff so that way I can show you guys on a what I completed thing, but I still have some more stuff to quilt, so maybe I'll just, hold off. But maybe I'll get to that this week. I do have a mail opening that I can do. Probably tomorrow or Tuesday. Thursday for breakfast at Tiffany's. Were we working on something? No, we finished the last thing.
Know.
And then you guys also wanted to see last Sunday's triangles finished. I totally forgot about that. I haven't quilted it yet, but oh, hey, that's probably through more than one layer, huh? Yep. It came out 68 inches by 76 inches, the triangles. I'm only going to hold up what you can see. Look at that with that border. Doesn't that look amazing? It's the same fabric designer, so the line looks like it belongs.
You want me to hold up an end?
Or turn the camera up.
Yeah, I'm going to turn the camera up first, and then I can hold up an end.
So there that is. Could just place it right here.
Sounds good.
There. That way you can see it. So there's that. And while I was at it, I made the binding, obviously. So that's ready. All I have to do is finish making the quilt back, which you guys know I don't like scraps left over. So all the bits and bobs left over from making this, I made. It's not a table runner, okay? It just looks like it. I made this. This is going to be the center of the back of the quilt. Because why not? I just got to find something to go on both sides that match, so that it can go in the center of the quilt. Wouldn't that be cool? But on the back. So there's that. That's what I did. Now I just need to quilt it. I haven't done that yet, obviously. I need to.
You'll get there.
I will get there. So that was finished. I told you guys I'd show you. So there it is. What else did I do? What was Thursday? What did I do on last Thursday?
Was it last Thursday?
I mean, the previous Thursday before that.
You worked out.
Oh, yeah. I gave you guys a New Year workout. So, yeah, Thursday.
Workout and binding.
Thursday, I got to start something new. So I'm going to have this out and something else out. And we're just going to make a mess in here. Because that's what I'm doing, is making a mess in here. Any questions or anything while I'm still here for the moment? Oh, I could bring this over here so that I could see it.
Don't see none.
No questions.
Ask now or forever hold their peace.
All right, so.
Oh, one person liked your workout video.
Oh, yes. And I probably could have showed you guys a lot more exercises, the things I do, but I didn't want to hang out in my bedroom. The whole purpose was exercising in your quilt room, which I do all the time. But I also exercise in my bedroom. But I don't exercise while we're on Sundays because I work out in the morning, not at night. So. All right. Well, that's it. That's all I got. So I'll have to finish some quilts so that I could show them to you. And then I got to open some mail. And then we got to start something new on Thursday. And then we're waiting for open gates. That's a big question mark. And then this was finished and that's it. That's all I got. Oh, this week I did make like 8 or 9 more pouches, project bags. I made a bunch more project bags because I'm still working on my project bag thing, and people have asked me, what am I making the project bag for? I will tell you now. I'm making them for the cruise ship. So the people that are going on the cruise are going to get a handmade project bag from me. That's what they're for the cruise in August. So if you're still interested or thinking about the cruise, you still have time, and there's open spots. So click in the description below and you'll find all the information about the cruise, and just click on those things, click on this and find this out and ask them people and get yourself on the cruise ship with me okay. And Scott. All right, I'm done. I probably talked you guys' ears off. You probably think I'm crazy today, but I'm really not. Okay. Toodles. Bye. See ya. Hasta la vista.